Hello, and we are back with some more Prime League action, playing the very first game of the season right here. And I have to tell you guys, it has been a damn long time since I've casted League, so bear with me these first two games. But regardless, the action goes on, it continues, and we're all the way up into Division 3 right now. It looks like Pandaric is unstoppable, climbing through Prime League like it's damn nothing. And now they make their start in Division 3, and we'll have to see if it's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy like it has been so far, or maybe it will finally be a bit too much for the boys. But I'm sure they can handle it. They have proven themselves to be very good players, and they got, a few seasons under their belts as well, playing together. So they got that going for them. And already starting off with the Pantheon lock right here. Very strong champion in the jungle, is prioritized by a lot of teams here. And the Senna is a new up-and-coming, or well, not necessarily new, but I guess meta scene. She hasn't been always there, but recently is making a comeback here. And is a very good scaling AD carry, so it makes sense to match it with the Smolder. You go scaling on both sides of the Rift. And yeah, Smolder also recently receiving some buffs on his scaling, getting some more damage on his abilities with the stacks. So it's certainly a very viable option here, and the Talia has been a very staple pick here in the mid lane in recent times. It's just very good at shoving in those waves really quickly, often matched by the Azir here, so I mean, I would not be surprised to see that. I feel like most mid laners are able to wield the Azir. But we'll have to see if that's going to come through here. If not, then there's an opportunity to ban out some more of those mid laners. The Ryze already banned away. It is going to be the Rel, so some more engage here instead on the side of Milk. Making sure that once those team fights come around, you have some lockdown for that Smolder and you're able to take him out quickly. But yeah, like I said, those open up an opportunity to ban away some more of those mid laners. Make sure Atomic has a really easy lane here in the mid lane. And once you get those shoves going on as the Talia, you're able to roam around pretty easily with the passive as well. Have the Weaver as well. Can get some impact on here on the map, but we'll have to see how that one is going to pan out here. And it looks like on the other side of things here we have Milk pinching away some more of those engaged supports here. Already having the Pantheon. And also, you have to talk about the Pantheon Talia, because this has been a very deadly combo in the LSC and also in the other leagues here. It's just really easy for Pantheon just to walk up mid lane, get the stun with the W, and then you get the seismic shot from the Talia. Such an easy kill and a nice pattern here for the mid duo jungle. We'll have to wait and see what they're going to round it out with here. We do have a blind pick available here for Milk, so I'm gonna expect here a safe pick for the top side. And the Ambessa is still open here, so that is definitely an option. You get the public execution here onto the Senna if you wish to use that to your advantage. But obviously something like an Ornn or a Renekton can also serve pretty well here. Victor would not be a bad choice here. Can match that pushing power a little bit. You're gonna struggle a little bit in the early game because Talia is just a bit better in the pushing power. But once you get some items under your belt, you get the upgrade D on the Victor. You're gonna be pretty fine here in the mid lane. Does very well in team fights as well. Is some nice scaling on that champion. Matches very well with their team composition. Then it's all going to be about, can you survive that early game and the mid game? Because Pandaric, they have really shown us already in those last seasons that yeah, they are able to just, get leads early on, get the objectives, get the skirmishes together, and rotate around the map well enough, and then they just snowball on the back of that. So it is really going to be the question if this Senna-Victor duo is going to be enabled in the late game. The Braum will provide some more defensive opportunities here for the team composition. Okay, and the Sion, also a very good blind pick. Never mind, we're going to switch to the Ornn. Both would have been very good options, right? Sion is just very beefy, can also provide some nice engage. And it's just very good at taking away those minion waves in the early game. Make sure you don't get dived. Yeah, honestly, I like the Ornn a bit better here as well, because you do get the upgraded items here for your carries. And if you do hit that late game, if you aren't able to snowball, then it does mean you can at least match that scaling a bit better here with those upgraded items on your Smolder and Talia. That is definitely very scary late game here as well on the side of Pandaric, if they are able to get to that point. But their early game is also no joke either, right? You know, you have that Pantheon Talia duo that we talked about. So that is definitely something I'm going to keep my eye on here on the side of Pandaric. But on the other side here, Milk, they have the Yorick now in the top side, a very good split pusher. So going to be interesting to see how effectively they're going to be able to use that. And I mean, honestly, I feel like it might be difficult to match him in the late game, especially if he keeps going for that split push. That's really why you picked that champion, right? He's so good at split pushing. Is pretty good into tanks as well. So might be a tough lane here for Soap, but I feel like throughout casting Pandaric many times, I've said that sentence, exact same sentence, multiple times. That's gonna be a tough lane for Soap, and somehow he gets a solo kill on Ornn. So never count that guy out. He makes magic happen in the top side, even on simple picks like the Ornn. He's very effective at those champions. He's very good at playing the weak side of the map here. So I kind of expect this Pantheon to facilitate the Talia in the mid lane, and then hopefully he can also bring that lead towards the bot side of the map. You know, you have two global, well, not fully global ults, but you know, you can just instantly jump into the fight here as the Pantheon, as the Talia, and hop into the bot side of the map here, get the Smolder ahead, and make the Senna fall behind. But then on the other side of things here, the Skarner is also no joke, right? He is not as broken anymore as he was in previous patches, but he's still a very strong jungler. They'll still have those creative opportunities when it comes to ganking, still has the Impale and can make life difficult here for Pandaric. And the Senna Victor scaling is also no joke here. There's a lot of engage here, and the split pushing from the Yorick might be a problem in the late game. We'll have to see how that one's gonna pan out here. But in general, I feel like both teams want to skill. So maybe we're gonna get a bit of a slower game, but at the same time, knowing Pandaric, you know, they can definitely make things work here in the early game as well with that Pantheon, what we talked about. And once you get those objectives rolling, right, then you can really snowball the game as well. So I'm gonna keep my eye out on this Pantheon for sure, and see if they can get those objectives rolling on early. Especially if you can get an early Drake, right? Spawns at 5 minutes, you take that Drake instantly. You can get the second one at minute 10, and then you already have 2 dragons in your belt. You can easily force a soul fight, prevent the scaling from the enemy team. That is something to definitely look out for here. Because, you know, in previous seasons we would have the grubs and the dragons basically spawning at the exact same time, or almost, right? And then it would most of the time just be a trade, right? You have like one team on the top side, one team on the bottom side of the map, and then they trade the objectives. So it's just so difficult to get both sides at the same time. It's very greedy and difficult to pull off, unless if you're like a heavy early game team composition versus scaling team composition, right, that just doesn't want to fight. Most of the time you just trade those objectives and then, you know, trade again, and then in the mid game you kind of have an even split of objectives. But now, you know, with a mismatch in those timers, the grub's only spawning at 8 minutes, dragon already at 5 minutes, you can actually go for both if you want to. So we'll have to see if that is something Pandaric is going to opt into. So I do expect, you know, at least push in the mid lane here. The top lane is probably going to be a bit difficult for Soap, right? Yorick does have the Mistwalkers to assist him in the pushing and should be able to bully out the Ornn a little bit. But once again, don't count them out. It is Mr. Soap after all. He is very efficient on his Ornn. But let's hop into the game here straight away. Gotta stop the yap. And also, what's up, Alice Room? How you doing, man? And also Hatsu and iCamper, of course, in the chat. Good to see y'all here.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. I haven't heard that sentence in such a long time.
30 seconds to minions spawn.
I don't expect anything too crazy here in the early game. An early ward here from Ranger. That does mean I actually get that early bit of information. Let's see if on the other side they want to match it. So you can kind of see Danner hovering around there. But won't be able to get that ward in, so information going one way now, right now, into the hands of Pandaric. Or it will be cleared out here. Actually, the sweeper bot here by Full Clear King is gonna give that to his mid laner. I'm pretty sure they removed the XP reward from trinkets, so you don't get that early level 2 anymore. But I guess the little bit of gold is always nice to have here, giving that to your mid laner. It is the small things that matter in this game. And one thing that can be said here is that on the side of Pandaric, Sandy and Red Strike are very aggressive. They're not afraid to fight. No matter the champions that are in the bot side of the map, they will go for some fights. They're not afraid. So I expect them, even though they are playing Smolder right now, you kind of want to play passive, you kind of want to, you know, skill. They'll probably fight anyway. They'll make you fight for every minion. Concussive blows connecting here onto Danner. A little bit of poke damage here going either way. And again, I already see the ghouls in the top side of the map here being a problem for Soap, as he's being pushed in at the moment. He's gonna have to farm those minions underneath his tower. Ringer's currently at opposite sides of the map though. We'll have to see what Ranger is gonna go for once he has his full clear. Gonna be a bit difficult here for Full Clear King to get a gank off in the bot side of the map here, as his bot lane is currently pushed in, so he could just opt in for that recall after the Scuttle Crab. But at the same time, there we go. Ranger will be spotted out on that ward, so that's gonna give clear signals here to Milk. But they don't have to worry about the spam feed on the bot side of the map, and instantly you can already see a Full Clear King go into the enemy jungle. But he's just gonna go for the recall here. Doesn't have any wards to play, so an early tier here bot for Atomic as well, as that was gonna help the Talia. Just keep on pushing those waves, because you do obviously run out of mana pretty quickly, so getting to stack that tier early on, just going for a recall, getting the teleport in is always nice to have. And it really facilitates the power of that champion. And you can already see Atomic is just shoving in his waves and already going into the shadow. The Fog of War. And he's just going to be able to do that over and over again. Actually a bit of a farm lead here on Angel Knife in the mid lane, so doing very well for himself there. Oh yeah, I can do the zoom, forgot about that, my bad. It's been a while. I mean, the last time I casted was when Pandaric fought in the lower bracket here in Division 4 and made it to Division 3 right here. And already the dragon up and available, and we can see Ranger invading that enemy jungle. Wave shoved underneath the tower, so Fulkirkling is going to be alone for now, but backup has arrived here. Ranger maybe caught out a little bit, but Sunny and Red Strike are here to defend as well. The Senna free firing from the backlines, but so is the Smolder here, but Ranger dropping quite low right now. Has the Flash, the Ignite is popping, both junglers dropping low, but first blood is handed it over to the Senna right now, and it looks like disaster here as Smolder is smashed into the wall now. Will be able to flash away, but still dies regardless, and a Red Strike is all left alone, has to run for the heals, but I don't think Milk is gonna let him go. Maybe they will. Flash forward here, strike into the back of a Red Strike, will stun him down, lock him up, and another kill claimed here by Milk. And just like that, a bit too aggressive here for Pandaric, and they get punished for their endeavor in the enemy jungle. And that is massive. 2 kills onto the Senna. That is exactly what you want if you're Milk. Get your AD carry scaling this early on. We'll soon have this static shift there. It's going to be able to push out those waves that much easier. And it's going to transition very well into that late game when she becomes a very dangerous carry. But now gank in the top lane. Ranger is not done yet here. Wants to avenge his mistakes from earlier on. And it looks like All Eyes on Me is in a bit of trouble here. He's going to cage down Soap, but it will instantly be broken down here. Locked down. And that should be an easy kill. Will be handed over to Ranger here so he can facilitate that to the rest of the team here. And we'll be in trade over Dragon though on the bot side of the map here. And instantly already recognizing that jungler is on the top side. But hold on, Boskok has to be very careful here. Those have to flash and cleanse away now. It's very low HP as well. Jungler available here on the Crux though. But Ranger already making his way over. Is level 6, so can drop in with the ultimate right here. And there comes Skarner from behind going through the wall. But so can Senny. He can just fly over here. So looking for the solo kill. The main is going to finish off Boskok. And that's a solo kill from Senny. A creative pathing here over the wall. Using his abilities to his full potential right here. And there he is. Ranger from the backlines here has stricken as well. But now Victor rotating up as well. Will pick up one more kill for his team. A 2 versus 2 now. But it looks like Pandaric are done with this fight. They have seen enough. In the meantime though, Atomic does get the free farm in the mid lane here. So it is not a free kill here for the Victor. Nice rotation here for Senna. Just pick up that wave, recognizing that those minions cannot go to waste. And already these teams, even though they have scaling compositions, being proactive on the map here. Now these AD carriers rotating towards the mid side of the map here. Makes a lot of sense here. Senny taking a big chunk of damage right there. Actually, Soap right now, having a small farm lead here in the top side of the map, is doing pretty well for himself here. But now the groups are up and available on the map, and you can see both teams interested in grabbing a few for themselves. Mid laner is currently away, but teleport available on both of them. Full Clear King is just going to continue those grubs in the meantime. Now backed up by his bot laners. And it looks like Pandaric are not too interested in fighting this. They're currently walking up though, fostering, but already 2 grubs taken. But the Void might at least be denied here. As Pandaric take away that last one. And with no objectives on the map here, it looks like the game is going to slow down a little bit. Hold on, so maybe a bit of trouble here. We'll just be chunked down by those Mistwalkers. Now ganking the bot lane here. Atomic in trouble here as he pinned down against the wall. And once again, the power of this Skarner is being showcased here. Perfectly locked down into the zero gravity field here is Ranger. Nice combination, but not a lot of damage to finish him off here. And the rest of Pandaric has arrived, but the kill already picked up here. So Milk are more than happy for this trade. So far, a small gold lead here for Milk. They played the map pretty well. Actually, 3 kills here onto the Victor and 2 on Senna is exactly what you want as well. Dragon spawning soon here as both teams prepare themselves. Setting up the vision around the objective here. The W from Asena missing there, but just barely. And already Milk posturing quite aggressively around this dragon. Still no item completed here on the Talia and the Smolder. So a big advantage here for Milk if they want to go for the fight. And Sandy caught out here. He's going to have to flash away from the snare. Those go to safety here. Teleports from both top laners coming in. Soap instantly disengaging as his team already on the losing side of that fight. And on the back of that, instantly posturing towards that dragon. And Pandaric realizing they can't really fight for that. Sunny having no flash right now is a bit scary for him. Has to be very careful where he positions, as the support is currently on his way to join up with him. And that is already 2 dragons here picked up by Milk. And it's going to be the Mountain Soul. And the Yorick continues to split push and be a menace in the side lane as well. So a lot of problems here for Pandaric to deal with. And honestly, a smart decision for them to not fight for the dragon. They only just picked up their first items now. The Essence Reaver for Sani. And a Seraph's Embrace here for Talia. They just had a little bit too late to fight for the dragon. You do feel like they kind of want to fight for this third dragon to prevent the soul point being acquired by Milk, so 3 minutes and 45 seconds left until that dragon spawns. And that is a lot of Giant's Belt here on this Skarner. I was just looking at the items. Down. That's a lot of HP to be stacking up like that. Soap is just playing PvE here against the Mistwalkers. The rest of his team is on the way as well. Recalls are coming through though. Your Herald has not been started yet, but Atomic now being driven on the top side of the map will be taken down. And once again, it shows how this Skarner can be such a nuisance. And that should be a Herald pickup here as well on the back of that. And there's nothing really much that Pandaric can do on the map here. Because all eyes on me is still split pushing on the both side of the map. Everyone has recalled already in anticipation to fight for that Herald. But then suddenly Atomic dies. And now you can't really fight for it anymore because you're a man down. There's no teleport available on Soap either. So they're gonna have to give up that kill on the top side of the map. They're gonna have to give up this Herald. And there's not much they can really get on the map here to combat that. Because Buzzcloak is already back on the map here to take that mid wave. Victor is just instantly clearing those waves on the top side of the map. So overall just an L here for Pandaric. And we can take a look here at the gold differences. Already a 2k lead here in the mid lane. That is a massive lead here for Angel Knife, who's gonna have a field day in those team fights. And once again, the Impale is beautiful here on both carries. The Magnetstorm on top as well. And Red Strike and Senny are locked down. Somehow Red Strike almost escaping there. Buzzcloak will be engaged on the other side of things though. That's a kill in return here, but will it be enough? Underneath the tower is Ranger right now. Will be taken down here as Angel Knife joins up in the fray. Soap now using the Oran Horn to follow up on the engage here. Atomic still dishing out damage from the backside here, but will not be enough here as there's just so much HP on this Skarner. Cannot finish him off. But overall, the 3-for-2 not too bad considering how things started here. A nice seismic shot here from Atomic. Does a nice chunk here onto Angel Knife. But yeah, does just one laser in the back of that and gets out of there. And already look at his Senna, so much damage here, but Senny has some damage of his own, but the Shattering Strike here now coming through from Denner. Red Strike will be able to shield his AD carry for that, but flash popped here by Senny as he walks up a little too aggressively. Well, he had the upper hand there until Denner showed up. And that's just how Senny is. He likes to be in your face all the time. Will not give you that breathing room, will not give you a free lane to just sit back and farm. And sometimes that works really well because you really choke out the enemy AD carry from getting any sort of incon. But there's also times where you step a little too far forward and then it gets punished. And it looks like once again Pandaric is not really going for this dragon again. They're gonna give it up here. Instead they choose to hover here for Atomic, making sure he gets that top lane tower. As they are fine with splitting the map here. Soap now looking to defend his jungle, but yeah, not much he can do against this beefy Skarner in the jungle. Now everyone is backing up their jungler here. As a full fight breaks loose here, the Impale here hitting two players. Again, nice knock up here for Soap in the backline as he's trying to buy time for his team. As the fight has already been lost here, as they're just too far behind at the moment. A 4k gold deficit. The Herald, the Maiden from Yorick as well. It is looking quite dire here in the bot side of the map. Two recalls coming through here for Pandaric as they have to defend here. Angel Knife already crashing down on that inhibitor tower. Nuclear King looking to go for that engage, but changes his mind as he flashes away from that fight. Gets away with it though. The inhibitor tower will survive here. The Atticon now also available on the map, and in the meantime Buzzcloak just farming for free here on the... Oh, I mean, I said for free here. Ranger had other things to say, and Reaver's Law joining in as well, as Buzzcloak is just completely caught off guard. Doesn't even need the Talia. That is still a very scared Pantheon, currently on 2 items already, 4 and 2. Takes down the enemy AD carry. That is a good pick to find here, especially with the Atticon just spawning here, and you can see Pandaric, they want to press the issue, they want to find the lead here. Disengages are coming through. Angel Knife currently not available in the fight here. The Atacon here for the taking. If Pandaric want to continue this fight, and they do, they know the enemy AD carry is not available here. And I want to take this opportunity while it's still there for them to grab. Red Strike dropping so low. Has to be so careful. All eyes on me also, in the backlines coming through here on the Yorick. Yeah, Pandaric, they don't like what they're seeing and they want to disengage from this Atacon. But now it is available here for Milk instead. Boskok has in the meantime respawned. This Atacon is only on 4.5k HP, and you can see both teams kind of interested in this Atacon here. But Pandaric, they are already so low. They've used their tools already. The engage is coming through. Nice Orenhorn here for Soap as he looks to go for the engage here. The Smolder Mom is following up as well. But the Smite fight has been won by Milk as all Full Clear King takes that away from Pandaric. And now it is running for Pandaric as they are losing the fight on all fronts here. Flash forward for Danner, takes down Atomic. And all hell breaks loose for Pandaric as they see this game slipping through their fingers. The Skarner is going forward for more servings for his team, slowing down Soap here. Sunny being lasered down and executed by Angel Knife, and Soap is next up on the table. It is only Red Strike left standing all on his own. And just like that, that should be game number 1 here in the pocket for Milk. Just cleaner with the macro in this game, I feel like. As Pandaric, they couldn't really find what they were looking for on the Pantheon. They tried to activate this Pantheon, giving him the kills early on, but they just weren't able to find the ganks that they needed to. And slowly but surely, the skirmishes went the way of Milk, and they were able to snowball this game out of control. The Smolder never got to be that big teamfight carry that he wants to be. Never got to that point. We got 2 scaling team compositions, but we're finishing the game at 22 minutes as Milk takes game number 1. What a way to start it off here. And unfortunately, not the way you would like to start it off if you're Pandaric, but you know, there's always a game 2. They can tie it up here. They still have opportunities to come back, and I mean, we gotta, you know, hand it back to that fight in the jungle early on, right? Ranger going for that little invade there. They're trying to push the wave underneath the tower and then go on the invade on the back of that, but it's just a little too disconnected. It didn't really work out. The bot lane was there to back it up, and then suddenly Ranger is just out of position and everything collapses around them as Angel Knife is able to join in as well, pick up those kills, and from there on out, it was just too much of a deficit. Full clear, the Skarner also getting those ganks off was absolutely amazing. It shows how strong that champion still is, even though he's gotten nerfed multiple times. But for now, we're gonna head into a little break here, and then we'll be back for game number 2. And then hopefully Pandaric can bring it back here as they bring it back to the drawing board, but we'll see how they fight in game number 2. Alright, welcome back. We're straight up into game number 2 and same side selection here. Previous game Pandaric chose blue side, this time around it was Milk choosing red side, so it stays the same. And it looks like the bans mostly stay the same as well. I don't think Seth was banned last game, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if Pandaric wanna take a different opportunity or different path here into the champ select here. Last time around it was the Pantheon block. It was the champion that did not quite work out last time around. So this time, going for something similar here with the Xin Zhao. Looking for those early skirmishes. But hopefully more success on this champion than on the Pantheon. Yeah, I mean the Senna worked out pretty well last time around, so wouldn't be surprised if you want to lock it in again. And that will be the case here. Senna locked in, and I mean once again, okay, the Skarner locked in as well, makes a lot of sense. I mean, full clear king was very good on the Skarner last time. Had a lot of impact on the map here. The Extol impact just, I mean literally just finding the impact with it, right? Getting those ganks all through the wall. Recognizing when, you know, you have to make those opportunities because the jungler is on the other side of the map and you can take advantage of that. He did that very well. And this time around, okay, we're gonna go for the Vayne. This is where Pandaric switches it up mostly. We're going for that scaling once again. This time not the smolder, but we're going for the Vayne. And that should be pretty good into the Skarn as well, right? Especially if you're going with 4 Giants belt. Getting that percent HP true damage on the silver bolts is always going to be very nice here for Sandy, and it will be paired up with a Lulu as well. Has been nerfed a little bit, but still very good enchanter support if that's what you want to go for. And I feel like this is playing more into the power of Pandaric, right? Because I feel like Senny has been, usually has been their carry. Not to say that the other players are not able to carry, right? But I feel like he's their focus point. Most of the time anyway. So setting him up for success here is going to be very important here. So getting this Vayne Lulu combination is very good here. Senny has had a few games on Vayne already and he's absolutely popped off in every single one of them. And I feel like with the Vayne, it's easier to be a bit more aggressive than you are with the smolder, right? So being able to tumble forward and go for these aggressive trades, even in the laning phase, is something that suits his playstyle a lot. So I'm very happy to see that one back in the hands of Sani. But on the other side, the Karma locked in as well. So, you know, the range from the Senna and the Karma, that's going to be quite tough to deal with. If you're Senny, you can easily get poked out of lane here. Because also Lulu is like very good in those extended fights, getting a bit of poke in as well, getting the shields in, picks helping out in the damage, especially for an on-hit ADC like Vayne, you know. It's really good, but you know, you can just play from range in the bot side and go for poke yourself, and this Vayne is probably gonna struggle quite a lot here. And it looks like both teams want to keep open their mid lane opportunities and are instead looking towards the top side of the map when it comes to the bans here. And the victor will be taken away here from Angel Knife. Had a fantastic performance on it last game. I feel like there are still so many champions available that can be used to punish whatever Soap is gonna pick as a weak side top laner. It will have to be the blind pick in mid lane, so there will be the Syndra locked in here. I mean, a lot of opportunities, like champions available here. You can go for the Orianna, you can go for Azir, you can get Talia again if you want to. And then the question is, what's going to be the blind pick here for Soap? Alright, instead it's going to be the Ahri. Also a good champion to look in at. Yeah, the Charm here. At least you have some more safety. I think that's going to help Atomic a lot, right? Having the Spirit Rush available to just get out of dodge here if Full Clear King is coming behind with the XL Impact again. You can just get out of dodge here. And we are going back to the good old Cassandre. Makes a lot of sense. Has not really been as present anymore in pro play. Has kind of faded away in favor of things like the Ornn, like the Scion as well. And the Ambessa as excuse me, and the Ambessa as well. Now what will be the punish into this? And it's going to be the Vladimir, however, was locked in this time, was hovered last time as well, but now locked in. And that is going to be, you know, a good dive champion here. And you already have the engage with the Skarner. And now you can follow it up with some Vladimir engage here in the backline. Creating chaos here for Senny, who has to deal with so many threats here. Getting some magic resist onto this Vayne is going to be pretty damn good here. Having to do with a Vladimir and a Syndra, who just have those point and click spells that can instantly burst you down. And also don't forget the Karma, right? Does a lot of damage as well, especially if you build a little bit of AP on there. So yeah, overall, when I look at this, it's going to be quite difficult here for Sunny to, you know, manage these team fights here. You're gonna have, you know, the Skarner trying to impale you. You're gonna have the Vladimir driving into the backline, and at the same time, you have Syndra and Senna in the backline, just having so much range, able to stun you down, lock you down. You can get snared. So very difficult here. You do have Red Strike to protect him always, so you have Soap and Ranger able to stand in front of him to dodge some of those skill shots. But especially if this Vladimir can get like a flank TP, it's going to be so difficult for Senny to get any damage in. And that's like besides the point that, you know, you're gonna get dove on top of by this Skarner and Vladimir. It's gonna be so difficult to get into range to deal some damage to these carries from Milk. Because you're just getting outranged so hard. And in that same sense, it could be difficult here for Atomic to find that same impact as well in the mid lane. Because just getting a rotation off onto this Skarner or the Vladimir is not really gonna carry you the teamfight, right? You want to find access to the Syndra, to the Senna. So if you're ahead, you get the vision down, then it's going to be really good, right? Because then they have to walk into you. You can easily get those charms off. You can get the flanks off. But if you're falling behind here and you constantly have this big beefy Skarner who's gonna buy 4 Giants belts in the early game, yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to find your impact here. And last time around, I was kind of hoping to get that, you know, Pantheon Talia duo set up in the mid lane, find some early kills here onto the Victor, and then snowball that lead on the rest of the map, but they couldn't really find it at all. But this time around, I feel like on the Ahri, you do have that same opportunity. You don't have the same setup, but you still have really good skirmishing power. You have the charm in the mid lane, where you can lock down this immobile carry. And once you get to level 6, you can use the Spirit Rush to just roam down to the bot side of the map here and get some ganks off as well. I've seen Atomic do it before, so I want to see him have that impact as well, because they're definitely going to need him this game. Because just Sunny is not going to be able to cut through all of those champions on the enemy team here. It's going to be a very difficult game for him. Only so much one person can do here. And also, if he just does well in lane, right, just making sure the Syndra doesn't get far ahead and can just press R and Sunny explodes. And we instantly... Oh, we're going to the toilet. I mean, if Mother Nature calls, right? That's just how things go. But hopefully it will be a fast break. And it looks like it is. We're champions. There we go.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
This time around, some more action here. Let's see what Melkma are up to. I mean, instantly spotted out here. Not sure how many
30 seconds until the
champions Atomic was able to spot out here. Ranger will be hit by that poke, but not much else here that they can find. And instantly on the bot side of the map, you can see Senny walking up here. And that is kind of the downside if you do opt in for this type of invade. It does mean usually there will be a response on the other side, right? So exchange of vision here. Ward on the blue buff for Milk, and a ward on the blue buff for Pandaric. And once again, these junglers starting on the opposite of the map here. So an opportunity for Full Clear King to maybe find some impact here on the bottom side of the map. And we can already see Senny going aggressive here on this Vayne, like he always does. At the same time though, this poke is wearing him down. And you can already see then they're able to zone him off this wave. And I do feel like that's going to be a scary prospect here in the bot side of the map here, because, you know, Senna is, first of all, going to outrange this Vayne quite heavily, right? Especially in those team fights, and in the lane as well. And she also skills incredibly well here, so she has the opportunity to just basically have a free lane here. She gets to skill for free. She's probably going to have a farm lead, right? Because Vayne is going to have to farm underneath the turret a lot of the time. Which means she's just basically going to be very strong here in those team fights. And if you're Senny, you just want to have those full-on engages, right? You want to have the extended fight. You don't want to be stuck underneath your tower, get poked down chip by chip. No, you want to go in, you want to tumble forward and just use that attack speed, that burst damage that you have over the Senna. But just getting in range is going to be so difficult, because you don't have an engaged support here. Your Karma can also slow you down, can speed up. Boskok to go for disengages, right? And then you're just stuck in this alpha position, where you're not really given the fights that you want. And you're slowly going to bleed out here in the bot side of the map. Nice charm there for Atomic. But a nice return here by Angel Knife as well. Still gonna let that one go unpunished. And already a small CS advantage here on the bot side of the map here. And we're only 4 minutes in right now. I mean, all things considered though, Senny is still pretty healthy. Still has a health potion available as well. So not doing too bad for himself either. And overall, not too much happening on the map right now here, as both teams are just peacefully laning and clearing their jungle. So going in for a big chunk of damage here. Pool will be used here by All Eyes on Me, and I mean he's just gonna be able to sustain so much of the damage as well. Ranger pathing towards the bot side of the map here. Looking for a lane gank right now. And no words at the moment in those bushes. It looks like Milk is respecting it, but a potential gank here for full clear king as well, which could break out into a full 3 versus 3 here. This Ranger is hovering around here. And already Atomic on the roam as well. Does have the level 6 available. Flash forward here for Ranger. Wasn't able to fully find that fight as we're headed up into the top side of the map where Soap is looking for his solo kill as well. Does find that knockback here onto All Eyes on Me. And it looks like the disengage happened on the bot side of the map as well. No kills found yet. But I like what I'm seeing already. More proactivity out of Pandaric here. Getting Atomic onto that bot side of the map as well. Has that level 6 available to him. But now the dragon and being started as well. As Senny is dropping quite low here from all that poke. Has now burned through his potion as well. And is holding on to the last bits of health here. But the gank is coming through. The dragon is started here by Full Clear King. So it's not available for this fight at the moment. Atomic also roaming to the bot side of the map here. Flash from Boskok to dodge away from the Zinzao W here. But it's first blood for Senny. Uses the barrier, is still ignited and ticking down. Barely alive. Finally taken down by Boskok here. But Atomic is going to get a free kill here. Now it's only Full Clear King available. Angel Knife now rotated down as well. But way too late for this fight as all of his team has already dropped down on the floor. And that should be another kill picked. A triple kill for Atomic. And this is exactly what I wanted to see. Him getting out of that mid lane and getting impact on the map done. Now 3-0 on the back of that. And it felt like everything was just a little bit too slow here on the side of Milk. They kind of wanted to do this dragon. But then this gang comes through and then you kind of want to finish the dragon. But then like, nah, your bot lane really needs help. But then the Skarner is just a bit too late. And Angel Knife is just, you know, staying in the mid lane too long. Kind of maybe wants to push mid lane and get some tower plates instead. Like we saw Atomic do last game. But decides to roam down in the bot lane either way. And it's just late to the party. And it's just stuck between a rock and a hard place now, and Senny. This is what he wants. This is the fight he craves as he goes for that engage. But the mist is just annoying to deal with. But it does chunk down Boskok quite heavily. He's gonna force away that recall. You can already see he's down 20 CS here. So that first blood more than needed here on the Vayne. Gank opportunity here, but Scatter the Weak will be missing onto Atomic. And it was actually Pandaric who was able to pick up the dragon on the back of that as well. And the reason the gold is still relatively close here is on the back of that CS advantage, both in the jungle and in the bot side of the map here. As you can still see, the poke is going heavily in favor here for the Milk bot lane. They understand that even though they got taken down, they still have that CS advantage. They still have the first item advantage here on the bot side as well. Static shift completed here for Bosco. So good to see that they recognize the advantages they have, and even though they died, they're not afraid to step forward and abuse the advantages they have. And now it has to be all about Atomic on how he's going to be able to continue snowballing the lead that he has. Has the Malignance completed, Dark Seal in the back pocket as well. So could potentially stack that one up now. As he continues to look for these roams. I mean, definitely possible on the both side of the map now. Now that Bosco has the static shift, he's going to be able to push those waves in quite easily. But that also means you are exposed to a potential roam here from Atomic. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. And yeah, again, you see how tough that lane is for the Vayne. Just continuously being poked out here by Danner. Alright, let's see it then. Ranger from behind here, but the counter gank available for Full Clear King. Impale also there if he wants to use it. Chooses not to. As Ranger goes for the disengage. Nice hover there from the Skarner. Soap has also been doing very well for himself here on the top side of the map. But it's all going to be about those team fights where this Vladimir can really pop off. Already has the Hextech Protobelt available to him. Get a bit more gap close. Actually also just bought a kill. I mean, if you're stuck in that lane, might as well, right? Get some more cash in. Sandy now finally finishing off his Blade of the Ruined King. He's going to be very happy to complete that one. And already just chunked down to a quarter of HP. Has to use the Wild Rush here, but it's gonna flash forward. Still finds the kill into Danner. Teleport now coming through. Sani has had enough of this lane and just looks to take down both kills if he can. But the Hollow Mist is gonna provide some safety until it runs out. Gets a double kill. And now it's all left onto Full Clear King, who is left alone. And that is a triple kill by Sani. Wow, I was not expecting that. He just walks up to lane. Tanks down literally like 80% of HP. But then the Wild Growth comes through, the barrier comes through, flash forward. They know all the cooldowns are on cooldown there. For Milk. They ran dry. And Sani goes forward. He's had enough of this lane. And this is why we wanted the Vayne. This potential to just go in whenever you want to. Pop the final hour, tumble in and go. That's what you want to see from Sani. And this is much more like the Pandaric that I have seen in these previous seasons. Obviously, now in Division 3 it's a different story. your limits are going to be pushed a lot more. You're not going to get away with everything that you did in the lower divisions. But I'm glad to see them find their form in game number 2. Exile Impact coming forward here. Ranger already losing half of HP by Scatter the Weak here. Angel Knife looking to continue poke down this Xin Zhao here as he's left all on his lonesome. Will be taken down here in the backside. Teleport coming through on All Eyes on Me as well. So that means Soap does have an opportunity here on the top side of the map here. With Dragon available for Mil. And it looks like Pandaric, they choose to not fight it. No teleport available for Soap. So that man disadvantage is not something Pandaric want to fight with. But hold on, nice engage here from Atomic. Just finds a solo bolo again. Alright, Atomic, I see you 4-0 right now. Finds a solo kill. The Waltergrove coming through. Danner just dropping low and Senny has had enough. And this is what I know and love Senny for. Even underneath the tower, he does not give a damn. And this is what Senny and Red Strike are known for. They do not give you any breathing room. Not even under your own tower. They don't care. They will fight you till the end. Ghost spot there by All Eyes on Me. Looking to convert this into a kill here. Angel Knife also rotated up towards the top side of the map here. Scatter Weak is going to be dodged out beautifully and flash away from Soap as well. Now the rest of Pandaric is here. Charm available here. But that is a big Skarner that just suddenly popped up into your screen and something you probably rather not see. Danner now also into this fight, and yeah, Atomic does have the Spirit Rush available, but unfortunately Ranger does not. So he does get taken down here. Charm will be going wide for Atomic as well. Soap looking to pincer on the top side of the map as Senny has arrived to the fight as well, but they decide to fight on the bot side first. And the Herald up for contention as well. And you can see both teams very eager to get that objective in their hands. Especially with Ranger not being available, no smite here for Pandaric. And also a man disadvantage here, but regardless, Senny is kind of 5-1, so probably something you don't want to fight. And with Ranger already respawning, making his way towards that Herald, it will be picked up here by Pandaric. Honestly, very nicely played there by Pandaric. Recognizing the strength that they have, even though they lose their jungler early on. You know, good reason to be afraid, to think, okay, no jungler, Herald gone. Do something else on the map. No, they recognize we have Senny here. We have a 4-0 Ahri, 5-1 Vayne. We can still contest this. And they buy enough time here for Ranger to be back on the map. They get the objective in hands. Okay, go on, Soap. The all-out has been used here on LSME. Can Soap find the solo bolo against the Vladimir? The Q going white there. He's gonna send him packing. Atomic and Ranger here on the bot side of the map. Charm is gonna connect here onto the Skarner, but that's not really the target that you want to be hitting. And Soap just feeling the sustain of the Vladimir right now on the top side of the map. It is pretty tough to deal with. But so far Soap has done a pretty damn good job here on the top side. I mean, even last game I feel like he had good engages, but obviously there's only so much you can do on the weak side of the map. But this time he does have his carries with him, as both Atomic and Senny are doing pretty well this game. But even then, it is at the moment just a 1.5k gold lead. So the game is far from over here. They still have that Skating Senna, currently sitting on 2 items here. Horizon Focus also completed here by Atomic. So he's probably gonna deal a lot of damage now. Especially if he finds his way onto one of the carries. Also, All Eyes on Me does have the Proto Belt and a Death Cap available. So that is also going to be very scary here for Sandy in the back line. Oh, Soap is being caught out here. The Exile Impact actually not fully stunning him against the wall, so a bit of an oopsie. Soap also tanky enough to tank that up, and already 2 players spotted out on the bot side of the map here is going to send Ranger forward. And the rest of Pandaric here is ready to follow up here, as it looks like the Scorpion is a little too far forward here. Atomic, an opportunity to go further forward, but decides against it. And that is a jungler taken out here. Dragon available. You can already see the rest of Pandaric. They know this dragon is up for the taking already. They just want to continue the man advantage here. Sandy going so far forward, doing a lot of damage here onto Denner, but dropping so low in the meantime. A re-engage possible here as Vladimir has arrived to the party with the teleport here. Is he able to finish off any of these kills? Yes, Red Strike will be dropping down here, all out here onto All Eyes on Me. Will take him down underneath the tower. But Sandy will be sacrificed in the meantime. Dragon picked up here by Ranger while all that was going down in the mid lane. Looks like Ranger found his way onto Angel Life as well. So Bubble just tanked this one up in the mid lane. Now Atomic there, Charm going wide. Oh, that is so unfortunate. That would have been a kill here onto Boskok if that Charm had connected. Or at least you would expect. I mean, with the Malignance available, that ult does not have a very long cooldown, as you can already see. That line is just speed running. I mean, goddamn, that ultimate is already halfway back up the cooldown. That should not be allowed, but hey, here we are. Cooldown boots, Malignance, all the good stuff. Impel landing here onto Red Strike here, who is now being dragged into the rest of Milk. Wildgrove used on himself to sustain a little longer, and there goes Sandy going aggressive, chopping down the Skarner, flashing forward, looking for more kills on the Boskok here. Denner and Boskok both flashing away low underneath the tower, but there is Soap smacking down Denner and gets away with it as well, tanky enough to sustain the tower. The Herald popped down as well. Sandy going for a little ride here underneath the tier 2 tower. And you can see how happy Sandy is to just go all in here, realizing that all the cooldowns had already been burned onto Red Strike. And even though the Skarner has 2 completed items, Sandy just rips right through him. Ginsu's Rage Blade and Blade of the Rune King, Silver Bolts, all stacking up together to melt right through that Scorpion. Atacon available for the taking as well. And just like that, this game is looking pretty damn good here for Pandaric, finding themselves a 2k gold lead right now. But also securing the Atacon right there is always going to be pretty damn nice, especially for Senny. Getting to chase down those kills easier now with the slow. It's currently 8 and 2 onto this vein. But we can't forget about the Senna though. That is always going to be a scary prospect into the late game. Working our way towards the Infinity Edge right now. Oh, Denner Finding something that he would rather not see into the bush here. Knock up from the wild growth is gonna spell the end of him. Yeah, this is where it becomes quite difficult here. Once you start losing your jungle here, it just means Ranger can't free farm. You're being choked out of money here. Your jungler does not get any income anymore. You're not allowed into your own jungle. You're not allowed to have vision. But Soap is taking up so much damage here. The all-out is coming through. He's dropping so low. He gets away with it though. Ranger now taking up his place in the front line. But there's no damage here. That is the problem. Atomic now coming in with the teleport. A bit greedy here for Pandaric, as they're looking for a kill, but just don't have the damage without the carries. So they'll just go for the recall. Luckily for them, not really an objective on the map here that can easily be taken. Yeah, the Baron is up, but I don't think they have enough time for that one. But it does mean that on the back of that little bit of greed here from Pandaric, that Milk can move a bit forward here. They can take these forward positions in the river. You can see a full clear king hiding into that bush right now. Looking to see if we can find a pick on the back of that, but yeah, Pandaric is just going to go towards the dragon, so it's not really going to mean all that much. It will now be spotted out on the ward as well. And Angel Knife may be in trouble as Atomic is using the Spirit Rush. The Charm is going white as well, but regardless, all alone means he gets taken down anyway. Senny will gladly pick that one up. Now Soap is going to find the rest of a Milk here. Had to check up on the Baron, and yeah, you can tell his teammate there, not on the Baron, guys. All on me, he screams right now, but I think he's going to go down for it regardless. Did serve his team in providing a bit of information. But yeah, I mean, now that he's down, that also means they could start off the Baron right now. Pandaric, I don't think they have any information at the moment. So another Death Bush is being set up right now. Pandaric, they're not buying it though. They are currently pinging it, and Atomic is gonna have to investigate. But he is skeptical as well. They've done this before, and yeah, now we can kind of confirm they are not on it, so no one has to face check those bushes, and Boskok is out of position. Senny finds the stun against the wall. But regardless, Boskok gets away, pops the barrier, but Senny is not done quite yet. It's gonna tumble right into the Skarner. Impale activated as well. Trouble maybe for Senny, but no, the rest of Pandaric is here. Shields are coming through, and he stays alive. All eyes on me now in the backlines. Has not been spotted out yet, so this could be a problem here. He's gonna pop the ultimate, but just wants to get out here. Does not have enough damage, especially with Lulu still alive and kicking, and that's the Baron up for the taking for Pandaric. 3 dragons already in the back pocket as well. They have the Atacon, and now they're picking up the Baron as well. 3.5k gold lead, which keeps on growing. Sure, it's not the biggest gold lead, but you feel like this Vayne and this Ahri is a big problem. And I feel like I have yet to see all of the pieces from Milk come together in a team fight. We need to see this Vladimir get into the back line during one of those team fights. But so far it hasn't worked out quite yet. Senny being escorted by his team. I feel like Atomic is just using his ultimate so freely now, because the cooldown is just actually 0. And actually baits out the Impale as well. Nicely done by Atomic. Just look at like the left of your screen right now. That is ridiculous. That should not be allowed. Regardless, we're gonna go in here. Ranger finding the pick here onto Denner on the back line here. All eyes on me. Can't find the impact either. Has to run away. Luckily, the towers are still up and standing, so no follow-up engage here from Pandaric. But you can see how difficult these fights are. Now Pandaric look to siege underneath the bot side of the tower here. Baron's still available to them, and in the meantime Soap is just gonna escort those minions in the mid lane as well. Dragging away Angel Knife. But I don't know if Angel Knife can defend that all on his own. Soap is quite tanky and can just kinda ignore Angel Knife, to be honest. So surely that inhibitor tower is gonna fall here, and eventually his bot lane tower is being chipped down as well. So another 2 towers collected here by Pandaric, as Boskog is finally assisting his mid laner as well. As the inhibitor is now open and exposed. The Baron has ran out though. Atomic now maybe a little too far forward here. The stun is gonna connect as well. The snare, excuse me. Sunny is open for business though, as the Impale misses onto him. Will be stunned down for a little bit, but Soap in the backline in the meantime causing chaos and destruction, as all eyes on me is the left one standing, but will be taken down as well. Everyone drops like flies for Milk, and that should be game number 2 in the pocket of Pandaric here, with a dominant fashion in game number 2 as they come back on the back of Atomic's Ahri and Sunny's Vayne. What a performance from both the carries here. And this is exactly what I wanted to see coming into this game. GG to both teams here. Fighting it out on the Rift. I mean, it has been a very competitive game so far, I have to say. Both these games, both teams showing their strengths as well. And I mean, I was just very happy to see the Vayne in the hands of Sunny, because he is just incredibly efficient at this champion. And yeah, I mean, it looked quite rough in the laning phase, right? Getting poked out by that Karma. But he just finds his windows of opportunity, and then once he gets rolling, he gets that triple kill on the bot side of the map. On the back of a roam from Atomic as well, by the way. We have that pointed out, because that's really what we were looking for, right? Atomic getting these roaming champions. Last time on Atilia did not really work out. This time on the Ahri absolutely worked out. So big step up from Atomic as well into game number 2. Finally gets to enable his AD carry on the bot side, giving him that triple kill. Or well, he actually picked up the triple kill himself, but then later on Sunny snowballs on the back of that. But yeah, I mean, absolutely amazing to see from the carries here. And obviously Red Strike doing a phenomenal job on the Lulu as well, keeping alive his AD carry. And as always, Soap and Ranger just playing, you know, incredibly well as well, just being the front line there, finding the engages as well. And all around, just a very good performance here from Pandaric in game number 2. Fortunately, not the 2-0, but hey, you know, at least he tied up regardless. And, you know, for the first game here in the season, I would say I'm pretty impressed, right? They still show the strength. They show that they belong in Division 3 right here, and that they have found their place here. But now the question is going to be how the rest of the season is going to develop for them, if they can find themselves into that playoffs yet again. But we'll have to wait for the rest of the games for that. For now, I'm going to thank you guys all for watching this stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. And then at some point, hopefully back with another game in the season. And hopefully you enjoy your evening, and goodbye.